You are too funny. Hi.
Hey, everybody. It's
Hi
the Blues Brothers coming to you live.
from Southwest Florida. Hi, I'm Lainie Savante Wilkin
I'm
and
Joanna Salerno.
Incognito. She's in solidarity with me today
Mhm.
because I have a little eye owie that doesn't look very pretty or feel very pretty for that matter. So I'm learning to accept that. Learning to accept that which you can't change and go with my papayas. But
That's right,
very
baby.
sensitive eyes today, so I'm going to just. Are you gonna stay in solidarity with me? That's pretty cool.
Probably not the whole time because these are really dark. I can't see anything.
I try to at least find.
But I wanted to just let you know that I'm with you. I am totally with you, and am your partner in every way, even when it comes to you having to wear glasses to the Real Time Wisdom Show. But I probably will take them off because they're a little dark in here.
Well, I did have an amazing awareness today. First off, we'll do a little catch up. I had an
Yes.
amazing birthday weekend. Thank you to all of you who gave your wishes and support. I am so incredibly in moringa gratitude, especially to you, Joanna, for all your fun activities and playtime and healing sessions. And the greatest thrill was that we got to pick up the prototype of our new deck and start to work with it, start to feel it, start to do card readings with it. And I've been pulling cards from it, and it's just been nothing short than mangoes all the way. A lot of joy, a lot of onions, a lot of acceptance of like, wow, this is here, and it's going to be ready for all of you very soon. Very soon, we're putting all those touches. So I have a lot of so I don't know. I have so much gratitude the fact that we poured a lot of energy into this new deck, and it's really reflective of the last couple years of where the world has been, because it has a different flavor, not entirely, but definitely a different flavor, more seasoned, and kind of like sous chef to executive chef. So I've really been experiencing that.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Me as well, lady. I'll tell you, this deck is, it definitely is a reflection of our growth. It's a reflection of the world's changes. And it's a reflection of the fact that we are totally in a different place now than we were when we wrote the first deck. Not just us as individuals, although that is true, but the collective is in a different place. And so, as I know that I was channeling it, it was just a little, like you said, more flavored. Everything was roasted and seasoned differently. It was just, it's been a beautiful experience. Once again, it's just a richer experience in some ways.
For sure. If you are here, please let us know. I know a lot of you watch later, some of you watch now, but we're going to kind of, open up this evening's show to talk about acceptance and, peeling back those layers and giving you an opportunity to share what's on your mind. We'll share what's on our mind and, talk. Sometimes, in all the shows that we've done, I don't know which we're on show number 65 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever made a show specifically about the cards, and we got 60 of them, and soon we're going to have 124 of them. But it's nice. I know we do it in our certification readings, all 60 of them. And then we have our Coconuts Club coming up. We'll be probably doing things in there. But here on the show, to really just spend some time, and acceptance has been coming up so much for people. In fact, just recently, we were half joking, talking about COVID, how when someone's has a cough or they have a sore throat, they're like, I'm okay. It's not COVID. It's not COVID. And then 2 days later, it is COVID. And it's okay if it would have been COVID in that moment. You know what I mean? It's just like we have to accept these times that we're all rolling with what's happening.
Yeah.
Right?
So Linda's in the house. The
Hi, Linda.
alchemist here is here. Hi, Linda. And we have some announcements of things coming up.
Go for it.
This week, I am so excited about Heather Danielle, psychic medium, 7 o'clock. No, 6:30, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
On Friday night. I was right the first time. And she's a very talented, gifted medium. She'll be here doing a presentation of doing readings, actually mediumship readings for all that attends, along with Lainie. I'll be there participating and just excited about maybe hearing from some of my passed on loved ones during that. So please join us. There is just a couple spaces left. So it's a very limited group that can come. So Heather can give everybody the time that they deserve. And so, yeah, join us for that.
Well, let me just say a couple things about that. One is that I did a show with her yesterday. Internet issues, and I'm sorry. Now I'm hearing. Can you hear the construction a little? If you are, I'm sorry.
I don't hear it at all.
Okay, good. And my internet was cutting out. Hopefully, it's better today. Peggy's here. She met us through Heather. Yeah, Heather's extraordinary. We're going to have an amazing time. And what Heather and I were discussing is not only Friday is everyone going to get individual sessions. She'll be able to really kind of. She's already been working in the field of whoever's supposed to be there. And talk to your loved ones who are supposed to, who want to deliver you a message, but also that group dynamic. If you didn't catch the show last Monday with Heather, Joanna, and I, you saw the energy already moving, and we work as a group dynamic. And I've been channeling my whole life, and Joanna's a renowned oracle, and Heather, like there's a lot of, it's an exciting field because the other side knows they can tap into this collective. So if you can come this Friday, grab a seat. If there's still some left, I don't think it's sold out yet, but grab a seat if you can and join us for this extraordinary dive into the other side. That's for sure. And I think what's really nice is that here we're talking about acceptance tonight, our onions card, and you have to hold up the onions card at some point because I only have the new deck here. You have the old one, not the old one, our first one. Because and we'll talk about it tonight, is that grief is such a huge piece when we lose our loved ones. And so acceptance is huge. So to talk about acceptance leading into this week and leading into it, and for those who I have an eye issue, so that's why I have glasses on tonight.
And she's had to accept that eye issue, right?
I've had to accept that. And you know what I'm going to tell you, what is very interesting is that we have yet to combine decks since we're just so new to the second one, and we're going to be excited. But what had happened was today was that I could really see how I can combine the decks. For instance, I pulled the card, like as I was on my way to the doctor to see what was going on with the eye, I pulled the fear card. That's okay. I'm not going to tell you what food it is. That's to be revealed, but there is
revealed at a later time.
To be revealed. But there is a card in the new deck called Fear. Everyone has it. And I was saying to myself, wow, what do I need to do to get past the fear? And I was thinking about the card tonight, acceptance. Like, wow, imagine combining the deck, like those two would pull up. I mean, there's plenty on the new deck. And there was one that I pulled that was really nice to pair with it. But I was just thinking, wow, this is going to be an incredible way to mix and match the first and the second deck, the volumes.
Yeah. Can't wait to play in that little arena there with both decks. That's just going to be so interesting as to what comes through.
So what other announcements before we get into the topic tonight?
Well, we have Heather Daniel on Friday, as we said, on the 22nd at 7. And then we have our Major Arcana and the Food Healing Oracle deck, the Hero's Journey, using the 22 of the Major Arcana of the Tarot and the Food Healing Oracle deck, the ones that we have chosen to match up those 22. So we use 22 from the Food Healing Oracle deck. This class has been so popular. People get so much out of it. And you don't have to be a tarot reader, an oracle reader. You can be a complete newbie and still understand the concepts that Lainie and I present. And it's just a really good class. It's August 6th, which is a Saturday, and it's 11 to 2, and it's a fun time that we're going to have, and because we have fun no matter what we do, but it's also very enlightening and illuminating, when you see these cards side by side and how food has something to say about each one of the major arcana. It's really interesting to see them paired up.
Go to the website to learn more. I think that's great. I mean, most people start off in the esoteric arts with tarot, and then they venture over to oracle. But sometimes people go the other way. But we bridge both worlds as we're bridging spirit and science with food. Go check that class out. It is. I think it's just amazing, and that information came in well after we made the deck. So we started to see the food show itself in another layer, right? Talking about onions and peeling back the layers. That was just another way of showing how well the Food Healing Oracle deck is doing that. So anyways, any questions about that, let me know. I'm super excited. I'm excited every time I teach it. Linda's excited. You're excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. So, okay, so that's that. And then we have our certification coming up, and we talk a lot about that. If you're interested in that, go to our website. That is a 2-day immersion. We just had an intro. God, packed house last week.
Oh my goodness.
That's learning what this is all about. And we gave a whole Q&A for 30 minutes and had a few people talk about how you don't need to, unless you're a professional. There are plenty of people who take it just to learn the food for themselves, for their family, for their own wisdom, infinite wisdom. And so how you decide to do that, and some people think they're just going to take it from themselves, and they end up taking it and suddenly becoming professional readers. Like, you never know where it's going to take you. So that's coming up online. And then we have one in New York live in November, but that's all on our website too. Woo! Okay.
Well, that's a lot going on. There's a lot
going on.
A lot of energy in the Food Healing Oracle deck kitchen these days.
Well, mostly the energy is focused gearing up for the second deck. So we have a little card that's been going out asking if you're hungry for seconds. We had our little video teaser this last weekend. If you haven't seen it, it's out and about online and socials, and then on our newsletter. And then about this time next month, we'll be releasing a Kickstarter campaign that will allow you to pre-order the deck and be the first ones ever in the world to be able to get your first copy of it. So, and amongst a lot of other different items that we're going to present to you, including the most discounted ways to get a future certification. Now we'll have a second certification with the new deck. So all that's coming in August. So a lot going on in the next month. So a lot to accept.
A lot to accept. That's right. So let's talk about acceptance. I mean, we have this wonderful onions card in our certification class. We really explore the many layers of onions, as there are many layers to acceptance. And I don't know one person that I've ever met that accepts every single thing that happens to them right away. It's usually a process, right? But it's a precursor almost to transformation. It's like we cannot get to the transformation we seek until we really have that full deepening of the acceptance of what has happened to us, And Lainie, you and I were talking about those 7 stages of grief, which one of them, I think the last one, is acceptance, and it kind of comes and goes, acceptance does, because I know for me, as somebody who lost their husband when I was only, 48 years old, that it took me, that acceptance came in different stages. I would accept, and then I would not accept because the grief would overtake me, and then I would accept, and it took a while. It was lots of layers of peeling it back and peeling it back and peeling it back.
Well,
So
hold that card up for a second just to show people and look at that. The acceptance, there are stacks of onions there, and it takes things to really stack and stack and stack until you can come to a level of acceptance. No one accepts things right away. Everyone has to process, whether it takes them a week, an hour, 10 years, whatever it is going on. Everyone think about what you are going through or what you haven't been able to accept yet, because tonight is about that. We're going to help you. We're going to be drawing cards for you if you're here, and helping pull a card for you to help you get past that hurdle. Like, what does Spirit want you to know through our cards to help you accept what it is that you're going on? But that, there's always messages, not only in the word and the food, but the picture. And that picture has stacks of onions, and it does acceptance stacks. It's like weight loss. Like, a lot of people are dealing with weight loss and trying to go on diets and trying to even just accept there is, there's a health concern. We need to lose weight and for our health. And you have to get to the level of accepting it, no matter how many people tell you. It's time for you to accept, I need to make some changes, whether that's emotional, mental, physical, spiritual.
And I love the fact that our acceptance card is the onions, because a lot of tears have to be shed before we get to that final place, or that place of acceptance. A lot of tears, because like the Buddha says that the true meaning of suffering is wanting things to be different than what they are, not accepting the way things are, right? And that can bring up anger, that can bring up all kinds of sadness and tears, because we want so much to be in control of our world, and we want things to be the way that we think they should be. And the universe has other plans so many times than what we think that is for our best and highest, what we want to happen. And when those things come along, sometimes acceptance is a hard, bitter pill to swallow. And it comes with very, very much tears and crying and railing against what is. I know that firsthand. So, we are going to peel back some of those layers of onions today for those that are watching now or watching later.
Well, I wanted to also comment again, marveling at the deck, because our first, we looked at a lot, or Spirit maybe just gave us the messages for the second deck and looked at what we had in the first deck and what would be the counterpart if there wasn't one in the first deck. And as soon as I saw you holding up the acceptance, I realized that in our new deck, we have denial. And that was like, yeah. And if those cards got merged, like, why we need to accept, because presently, depending on what spread, we have 9 new spreads in the next deck. So there's 8 in the first, 9 in the second. That's 17, which is an 8, which is very abundant. But that idea of being in denial is so prevalent that we don't want to accept. So we'll stay in denial with everything, whether it's drugs, whether it's whatever it is, self-sabotage,
whatever it is,
abusive relationships, grief, I'm never going to find somebody else, whatever it is. Aging, huge ones. Yeah. And anyone feel, please chime in on these comments if any of these are striking a chord with you, or you have your own. But denial is huge. So you're going to see that come up. It's interesting when we look at the words in this new deck, thinking about things that are happening over the last couple of years. It's like, yeah, that's where the state of the world was in, right? State of the world. So, and then even in the first deck, expansion, right? Our pineapple card. And so
Mm.
if we're not expanding, what's happening? And again, it goes back to acceptance. When we are in expanded state, we have mangoes, right? When we are in a contracted state, which is in our new deck, we'll get to that at some point. You'll get to see the card. That too, when we are contracted, we cannot accept. We're just don't. We have the blinders on. It's like this, right? The onions have not even begun to be peeled back. So
Right.
I think everything leads back to the need for
Acceptance.
acceptance. So
Yeah.
you're right. So asparagus can come in and transform, and
Mm-hmm.
watermelon. So we could release it and
Mm-hmm.
begin anew.
Yeah.
No,
I
good.
love this quote that I found from Michael J. Fox. And he said, acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding that something is what it is, and there's got to be a way through it. Right. And because a lot of people say, well, if I accept it, that means, the fight is gone. Well, sometimes there's nothing to fight. Right. And the fight within oneself can lead to all kinds of, things on the physical, lower immunity, disease comes in because we're just not allowing that papaya to flow and accept. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's not without tears. And I'm not saying there's a whole journey to that place. I'm just saying it doesn't mean giving up. Acceptance is not giving up. That's a whole different mind set and a whole different energy there.
Well, you touched on something super powerful, because so many people, when they are building that resistance to acceptance, there is so much energy there. It's like intense, and it weighs on you, and it's dense. So when you can get to the level of acceptance, this goes along with Michael J. Fox's quote. Once you come to a level of acceptance, it's like, whew, okay, now we can move on from here. It's almost
Right.
like you've pierced the veil, you've shattered the energy grid. Now
Mhm.
you can begin to build anew, right? It's almost
Right.
like chakras can get that foundational, and then you can move your way up into healing. So
Mhm.
that is huge. I love that quote. And it's true. It's like, who wants to carry all that weight around? It's like all the fears of the unknown. Everyone's
Mhm.
the future, and then when the future comes, whatever the situation is, I was like, oh, that was no big deal, right? And it's like, oh, well, why don't we just stay present, and then all that energy can just remain right here, instead of
Right.
all these things that may or may not happen, right? That's like fear. False evidence is real.
Right.
So, and so anyway, go on. I know you
Now,
had. I thought you had another quote.
I did. I do have another quote. Let me, and then maybe we can get to that really powerful thing that you have going on. So this is by Nathaniel Brendan, who I don't know who the best person is, but I really liked what he had to say. He said the first step towards change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. And it kind of reminds me of that serenity prayer, getting to having the courage to change the things we can, and accepting the fact that not everything can be changed. I'm slaughtering that prayer, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like and it's just sometimes we have to just realize that there are some things we absolutely cannot change, no matter how much we want them to change. So we just have to be in that state of acceptance for that.
That was me today. I was, spent the whole weekend, which I normally don't do, like not working, but having fun for my birthday. And then I was like, I'm going to hit it hard on Monday. I'm going to do all these things. And I had the whole thing lined up, and I woke up and my eyes were so blurry. And in this thing, I was like, oh no, I'm not doing anything today, but trying to get in to see my eye doctor. And I was
Yeah.
like, I just have to accept, like, that's what today was supposed to be about.
Mhm.
Maybe just to like slowly get my way back into the energy. I
Yeah.
didn't want to cancel this show because the energy here is always so healing for
Mhm.
us, whatever spirit brings through, connecting with different people who show up, and the responses we always hear later. So that, and my husband said, Howard said, oh, you always feel so much better after it. Because he was like, are you really? Shouldn't you be resting? I'm like, I feel great after we do these shows. So
Yeah.
let's get into it. Plus, I am in a level of acceptance, a layer of acceptance, pulling back layers ourselves. And I wanted to play our acceptance meditation. It's only 5 minutes. Oh, Trisha, I love her.
Thank you, Trisha. Thank you.
Here, let's just unslaughter it.
Right.
God
Yeah.
grant me the serenity to accept the things that cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, I'm going to play the acceptance. I recorded this a couple years ago. It is timeless, and I want you to listen to it, see what you get from it. Again, it's only 5 minutes. And then after you listen to this, we are going to, and I want you to be thinking about whatever is coming up during this meditation, because afterwards we want you to be thinking about what is going on in your life, relationships, personal health challenges, COVID issues, whatever, grief, again, so whatever is going on, financial. And then we are going to be pulling cards for everybody and giving you Food Healing Oracle decks messages of what you can do to help you come into a deeper level of acceptance, and hopefully that will get you on the road. Does that sound good? Good for you, Miss Joanna?
That sounds awesome.
Okay, so I am going to allow you guys to just settle in, take a deep breath, get comfortable, kind of clear away any noise, turn your phone off, whatever you need to do. Give yourself the next 5 minutes to enjoy this meditation and the rest of the show, because we're here for you and want you to really take this in, because acceptance, as we've been saying over and over, is really a key to transformation and healing. So enjoy this meditation, and we'll see you on the other side. They say you need to accept that which you cannot change. Well, who is they anyway? Is that really true when you think about it? I beg to differ. Yes, you've had some challenges, and maybe even some losses or a trauma that affected the very fiber of your being. Yes, there have been plenty of days where you fake it till you make it and hold the facade that all is well, because life has happened and you aren't ready to accept it. So you're existing in a haze of automation and blur. The good news is that this modus operandi is clearing right now, so listen in. Acceptance comes in your own perfect timing, not someone else's. Acceptance arrives like onions, full of layers, needing, wanting, almost demanding to be healed. Acceptance is one of the keys to unlock the door of freedom. Doesn't that feel grand? You are on the cusp of creating the life you desire, even if that appears as a lofty goal. Start by taking the baby steps, one foot in front of the other, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and willing to let the light come in. For in the shadows of denial comes hope. For in the depths of despair comes growth. It's the journey of your weary travels that leaves you tired and weak, but it's acceptance that builds the strength and life force to carry on while forging new frontiers. Take a moment right now to think about your worth. How valuable do you feel to your family, yourself, your community? Close your eyes and envision a world where you are so vital that everything you say and do has a significant impact to yourself and others. A value so invaluable that life without your existence would leave an impact and a gaping void in all the many lives that you touch. because, dear one, it will. You matter, and you are worth pulling yourself up into the world, head on straight, heart open wide, mind crystal clear, and your feet resting firmly into our beloved Mother Earth's soil. For you are a priceless, one-of-a-kind, break-the-mold being of light, and you are loved. Now, can you accept that? Can you accept that you are perfect just the way you are without asking the opinions of others? Can you accept that you are a co-creator with God and that God, Spirit, and that higher power lives within you and every other being on the planet, regardless of their cruelty or poor decisions? Can you accept that we are all one? Can you accept that you occupy space in a world that needs your light, love, kindness, creativity, generosity, and care? Can you accept that it is your divine heritage to be healthy, wealthy, and wise? Can you accept that everything is happening for a reason and it's been preordained before you even arrived here? Can you accept that this planet offers free will and you have the choice that you can move towards enlightenment or further beat yourself down? Remove the layers that have held you back. As the onion denotes, you need to peel back anything and everything that has made you think or feel limited. For you are limitless, and your star is just getting ready to shine. As onion sometimes moves you to tears, so it does when someone cuts into the very fabric of your being and left you feeling out of control. Yet onion comes in to tell you now that you have a choice on how to move forward in life. It helps you see that on the other side of acceptance is the path you've been waiting for, and it has been asking you to dust off the dirt, clear out the cobwebs, and walk yourself straight into cosmic wellness. There's a utopia waiting for you. Know that your mind, body, and spirit are counting on it, and so is the rest of the world. Namaste.
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Were you able to hear it? I think it cut out a little bit, but it was there.
Wow, I was able to hear it.
Good.
Mm.
Strong. What did
Yeah.
everyone think of that? So needed the
Oh,
meditation tonight. Thank you, Denise.
yeah.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
was a lot of directives there, that was really
Mhm.
strong coming through.
Yeah, 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 it was powerful. Mm. Linda says, wow, that just opened up some things. Yeah, yeah.
We have that on our website, and it's worth listening to. I listen to that one a lot. I don't
Mm.
even hear it. I don't know when you do your meditations. Like if probably don't even hear you. Like I just listen to it in the.
No, yeah, yeah.
I
So,
listen to that one a lot. I listen to all of them, but sometimes acceptance is. I need to hear that one because it's really asking us to take control, and not anyone else, not anyone's opinions. Like us, right here, right now. Like we
mhm.
need to do the work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Well, I hope everybody has started to think about what they would like a card pull on. You don't have to say it. We're just going to pull some cards and give you some insight on possibly what the Food Healing Oracle deck is, the messages that the foods has for you.
So if you do want a card pull, because we're not going to assume, just put your name in there, and we're just going to pull a card. They'll be very brief. They're not long readings. Tina will get one first, and they're just going to be what in this moment, calling in our beautiful guides and channels, and
Mhm.
letting us be clear channels, the Food Healing Oracle deck. What do you need to do to come into acceptance for whatever it is that you are thinking about? Whatever your challenge is, whatever your situation is, this card is for you. And we're using the first deck. Soon we'll be using a second deck, but right now, for a while, we'll be still working with the first deck. So let's start. And I don't have my cards with me. So Joanna, you pull and I'll just add to it.
There you go.
All
there
right. So
you go.
let's start with Tina Townsend.
Tina Townsend, the card for you is health.
Mm-hmm.
So go for it, Lainie.
Yeah. So the question we stated was, what does she need to do to come into a level of acceptance? And it is looking at the health of the matter. So that doesn't necessarily mean physical. I'd be looking at how the situation is affecting you emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, because we need all four bodies to come into oneness, the one mint. And so I'd be looking at the health of this issue and how is it affecting you? Only you know that. But when we come into a level of acceptance, we'll be able to clearly come into a state of health.
Mm-hmm. I love that some people see the tree of life in this one leaf, in this mint leaf right here, you know, and the tree of life encompasses all things, right? And as we go up the tree of life, we have more and more acceptance, more and more enlightenment, more light comes in. So whatever the issue that you were thinking of, Tina, just allow the light to reveal for you. Like the top of the tree, the sun hits the top of the tree and the sun is illuminated through the trunk. Just put some light on there, and I think you'll come up with your answer to that.
All right.
Okay. Who is next?
Denise.
You're welcome, Tina. Okay, Miss Denise. Let's see what we have for you. Basil, purification. So whatever it is, the thought, I am feeling like the thoughts and the body, purify that. But the thought follows form follows thought, form follows thought. So first purify the thoughts, anything that you may be having a hard time accepting, purify those thoughts, and then the form will follow. The body follows whatever is going on with you. The first thing is, and I don't know why, I mean, and I'm sure you do this, but for some reason I'm getting drink lots of water, maybe even putting some basil in the water and drinking some basil flavored some water there for you. And I know you're the oil lady, so you can maybe get some of those vitality basil oils. What do you see, Lainie, with this one?
Yeah, I see the need to release some judgments to purify sort of your auric field. A little bit of guilts and judgment pieces, not to go on to it here because I know we want to get everyone's readings in. I think Denise gets things so quickly, but she gets it. But I almost going into a forgiveness exercise of thinking about what these things that have maybe caused a little resistance to accepting and saying, I forgive myself for judging myself for blank, 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 blank. And just kind of working with that energy and purifying those pieces, that will dissipate the energy and bring you more into a state of healing and accepting.
Love that. Okay, next is
Angela.
Angela or Angela?
Angela Smith.
Okay, this one's for you. Peach's positivity. So go for it, Lainie.
Yeah, that one's very straightforward. The question again is, what do I need to do? Thinking about the situation, Angela, about accepting something. It's maintaining the level of positivity of what if in a positive manner, not what if XYZ happens on the negative, but staying in the positive, like, what if my glass is half empty? And what if it turned out this way versus that way? And what if the scenario turned in my favor? It's really spinning the dime of it, bringing it back to you, knowing that you are a positive being of light, and it's your divine heritage to have an uplifting outcome. So whatever the situation is that you want to accept it as seeing it done in a absolutely, like, envision the whole multisensory experience as positive. There is a positivity meditation on our website. I love it. I highly recommend it. I use that one a lot as well. And so, yeah, it's really just looking, and these are messages are for everybody, no matter who we're reading them for, is to accept things as how you want them to see completed, even if it's a relationship, an old contract, an old trauma, an old anything that keeps coming back in, like, resurfacing. Seeing the new outcome in a positive way, like, thank you, just thank the situation, whether it's old or current.
Right. I keep hearing that, peaches are so sweet and juicy, and sometimes we can't see the sweetness in a situation because we feel so bitter about it, or we're just not seeing what the positive light is. And I keep hearing, put on a different lens, put on a different pair of glasses, and look at it a little differently. Okay,
Now I got that message. I'm wearing a different.
You're wearing some glasses. Trisha wants one.
Okay.
Oh, that's good, Angela. And this is for you, Trish. So glad you're here with us tonight, Trisha. You know how much I love you. Okay. Ah, yes, baby. You get love. Accepting the love that is there for you, it wants you to receive it from all quarters, not just from one person, but from every person, every situation. It is all around you. The wonderful, sweet strawberries filled with love, and accepting love. That's it. Accepting love from everything and everyone in the universe. And you have so much love within you. And I know that you offer it up as much as that's right. Self-love too, she says. This is it. It comes from you, comes from the universe, comes from others that love you so much, and just absolutely being ready to receive that. Did you get anything else on that, Lainie?
It's funny you always say that. I always get something.
I know. What did you get, Lainie?
I just get be the mirror. Just be the mirror. And so often we are going outside to, like, want that love to come to us. Like, be the love, and it's just going to be matching. Like, just be that mirror of resonance. And when you are at that self-love, that higher vibrational of beaming, that magnetic frequency, that's all that can attract you. Nothing else can. So same thing with the positivity, and same thing with being purification, and all these cards tonight. Like, be the mirror of what we want, and that will come to you, starting with love. Like, if we can be love and be in that frequency, that high vibration, only frequencies of everything else can come at that level. Manifesting joy, harmony, love. Those are all things that we all seek. So be that. So I'm just saying, like, even if you need to look in the mirror, like, today I am going to be love, and just watch love beam back to me.
And like she says, be the mirror of what we want. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good wisdom there, for sure. Good wisdom
there. Well, why don't you pull one for me, and I'll pull one for you?
I'll be happy to pull one for you.
Okay.
For Lainie. You get cherries, baby. And I think that your community came out strong this weekend, offering you birthday wishes and sending you so much love. Your community is so strong and so vast. And it is, as we always say in the certification class, it's the lifeblood of what we need to fulfill. We need community. We're not meant to be alone. And you certainly had an outpouring of cherries, this weekend for your birthday, and you deserve every single bit. And
almost
no
hard to
kids.
see that accepts so much love, right? Talk
Yeah.
about like really taking the time today to like sit with that acceptance of so much, like just when you're like, does anybody love me? Oh my
Oh my
god,
God, that's
world,
right.
like from every
Right.
part of the globe. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
I'm really seeing that.
There
So
was no pits for you, baby.
no
It
pits.
was
Yeah.
all
It
was
was a bowl
all
of delicious juiciness. So thank
that's
you.
right. That's right. So
Thank you.
this is for me.
I said the F word. Sorry.
The F word? I
I don't
didn't
know. I
hear
did.
him.
All right,
I
move
didn't
on.
hear you say the F word.
Yeah,
You ready?
I'm ready for you.
Oh, I get the same card that Tina got. Purification.
Denise Scott. Denise
I'm
Scott.
Denise got purification?
Denise
Oh,
Scott
okay.
purification.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basil. Denise got basil. Maybe I have some basil in my fridge. Maybe I
Wait,
need.
I'm reading you.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead.
You can read you.
No,
But
that's okay.
I
You read
almost
them.
think that one too,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Denise.
Tina said mint. That's right. It was mint.
Yeah. That is self-explanatory. Actually, we did a lot of readings for each other this weekend. That was part of, the healing of this weekend. But that purification is for me, for you is thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and is those hindrances of our own thoughts, which are really so illusionary when you think about it. Like, is that really the best thought I can really give myself?
Mm-hmm.
Really, can I really like move it up a couple levels on the harmonic scale of frequency and good vibration? I think I can. What would I exchange that thought with and replace it? And
Mm-hmm.
just be mindful of our own self-talk, because we are all our own worst enemies, and we are the
Mm-hmm.
ones, like, the mirror with Trish is like, we need to be that positive. We need to be that love. We need to purify anything that doesn't honor this goddess, this, direct ascendant of, the divine. And, like, sometimes say, I forgive myself for forgetting I'm divine. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
purify that thought. That is not even in my realm of worth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was for
It's so
everybody.
important to catch the thought too, right? Sometimes we have so many thoughts racing through the mind that we don't realize that we're doing violence to ourselves. I don't realize I'm doing violence to myself. And then I have to catch myself. I'm like, wait a minute. You're not being a very good friend to yourself right now. You're being hypercritical, hyper judgmental. And so it's really good to catch ourselves. It's really good for me to catch myself when those things start, piling up. And
Yeah, the stacking, like the onions.
like the
When things
onions.
start to stack.
Mhm.
And so it's like, I'm going to purify those thoughts. I'm going to peel back the layer, whatever got me thinking in that regard, so I can get to that fresh layer of health. I mean, onions are so good for you. We always
Mm.
talk about, just on the physical side, that they say in Vidalia, they eat onions like apples, and they have the least amount of stomach cancers. Like, there are some benefits to eating. Not that we're going to go out and eat onions as apples. I don't think I would do it, but I know other people do it. It's been said. But I think that, I'm laughing. Tina says, we crack her up. We crack, yeah, we do crack each other up. And you have to, but we're so good at talking to our clients and seeing how, their thought patterns and how to bring them up. And then we have to have, we also have to have our own self check and balances, because if we don't do it for ourselves, who's going to do it?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Oh, Linda Horn says she eats onions like that. And
I,
Denise is drinking her basil water right now.
yes. All right, Linda, I want to know, are you eating Vidalias like that? Are you eating red, yellow, golden, sweet? Like, which onions are you doing? Because I know people who do it. And I think it's amazing, because it's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good for you.
For
I can't
sure.
wait to see what she says.
I
But
know.
yeah, I mean Vidalia, I can see that, but I have yet to do that. You know, I'm of the ilk that I like them fried and dipped in a bunch of sauces. Not that I should be advocating for that, but you know, I love onion rings.
I know.
But
We
sweet
eat
Vidalias.
Vidalias, sweet Vidalias.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Well, we'll have to have you do a video of that sometime
That's right.
because that is some serious
That's
acceptance
acceptance,
right
baby.
there. All right. I think
Love
we're
it.
good. I think I just want to clear the field for all of you to take in. If you go back and listen to this replay, maybe go back, not only listen to the message you got for yourself, but the other ones that were for other people. Because there's no doubt that the handful of cards we pulled tonight were for the group that was here. And if you listen to it later, that's cool too, and this will get shared. But I know specifically the ones that show up, get the blessing and get that divine energy that's coming through right now as a channel.
Tina Townsend says she says then have met after for the breath after you eat the raw onions.
Hey, make a meal with the cards tonight, right? Oh my God, I'm so wanting to pull a card from the new deck, but I can't do it yet. We will get there.
Plums, baby, plums. We must have patience.
Patience. Well, for those of you who can attend this Friday, every day I can't wait to see. I just feel like I'm already tapping into the other realms and talking to some beloved ones that that are over there having, they're all together. And I just can't wait to see who comes through for me, for Joanna, for everyone who bought a ticket. And to experience this, all of us together, I feel like there's going to be a huge bonding of this circle of friends and family after Friday night. And so
I'm bringing a box of tissues to my computer as I am on the Zoom. I'm going to have tissues because I know that that's going to come up. Speaking of onions, tears.
Yeah. Well, and acceptance. So it's the perfect card that goes into this Friday. Again, if you want to attend, hop on the website because it closes at 10 people. We have it timed. She knows exactly how much time she could spend with each person to give them their individual reading, and for us to do group readings, for me to do some sharings, and for all of us to come together. It's $99. It's this Friday from 7 to 9 Eastern. Get a ticket and be part of this extraordinary event. She's one of our newest certified readers, but she's so darn talented that we just had to immediately bring her into doing galleries and co-collaborations with us, and because she's that good. So join us this Friday. Again, you can go to our website, register there of any of our classes. We do. If you join our newsletter and different things, there's a way to get a discount. And that's it. So I'm accepting this is complete. And I hope this helped everybody who was here to have a moment to experience just a little bit about what we do, especially for some of the people who are brand new here. Thank you for being here and learning more about what we do as food healers, food intuitives, energy healers, whatever else we are.
And I'm going to just say that if you are so inclined, all these wonderful, powerful healers on here, to send some light and love to Lainie's eyes, that would be really, I know how much she would appreciate that. So I'm sending that to you now, Lainie. And I'll wear glasses as long as you have to. I mean, mine are really dark, but.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go dive into a big bowl of blueberries right now.
There you go.
Yeah, blueberries. Can use some clarity. Thank you. I'm accepting that healing from all of you beautiful healers out there. Bring it to the eyes. Bring it to the eyes.
Yes.
Yes. All
Good
right.
night, everybody.
Love you all. See you Friday.
Bye-bye.